Here we go. Gonna start. Yes. All right. Hello, hello, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to the movement. We're a motivational organization veered to educate minds, empower, nurture, and transform. We're so glad you decided to join us tonight. You could have gone anywhere else, but you came right here with the movement, 7 p.m. for Can We Talk? And we're so glad that you're here. Our purpose, our goal is to help you thrust into your purpose so that you can start living your best life and win. We have tapped into a winning formula and we want to share it with you. We want everybody on here to win. So that's just basically what we're here to do. We have these little conversations on Wednesday nights, very informal. Feel free to chime in. Feel free to open your camera eventually, some of you who never do. Well, I'm going to let Annette go ahead and give a greeting.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming and joining with us tonight. It's Can We Talk? It means can we talk, not just me and Anita. We want you guys to chime in. We're, as always, one of my favorite words, and I guess I need to get a new one, but we're excited about what God is doing. And so just relax, sit back, listen, take it all in, and use it to change your life because it's life transforming.
Yes, it is. It is a transformational situation here. We're excited. So we're, of course, we always send you out the topic, but I was sitting back thinking about something today. One of the most vivid memories I have as a child was road trips.
Oh.
We would get in the car, go to church conferences. I remember like twice a year we would have to drive to these conferences. Well, more than twice a year. It seems like there was always something happening at another church out of town. And so we had to take a nap. That day I hated naps. So the younger ones would have to take a nap because you're going to be up late and by the time you get home and get in the bed, you got to go to school the next morning and you're going to school. So we had to come home from school, get our homework done, and take a nap. I hated that part. But we would get in the car and we would ride. And then I could also remember us doing theme parks. My parents had this thing about taking us to some theme park, at least during the summer. I can remember we would at least visit about 2 theme parks. The other thing we would do is we'd get in the car, go visit relatives, So there was always something to do where you had to pack the car and everybody's out on that road trip. And that's just something that's so vivid in my memory.
Wow.
But there's one thing in particular, and this is the funny thing. There's one thing in particular that I remember most, and that is getting lost. What in the world did we do before GPS?
I don't know.
We had directions that somebody wrote down. You're going to pass this light, and then you're going to turn left at the blinking light, that kind of stuff. And I can remember being so lost sometimes, and we would pass by the same building like 2 or 3 times, and it would be so frustrating. But there was one thing that was worse than being lost. It was looking lost and other people dealing with you being lost. Because, there's a certain look of frustration. You're like this. Is that it? No. Oh, man, that ain't it. Well, that ain't it. You got to turn around. You got to make a U-turn. And then at that point, they don't want anybody talking. Shut up. Be quiet. I'm trying to find where I'm going. It seems like you can't hear yourself think. So if you got kids in the car, you want the kids to be quiet because you're frustrated. You're grumpy. You're aggravated. You're lost. And then you have the frustrating look on your face. The other thing is that your voice goes up a few octaves. Especially when you're finding yourself having to ask somebody for directions. So your voice goes up about 3 or 4 octaves. Excuse me. And I can remember my mama doing that. Oh my God. Let me tell you, that was something that my memory is so vivid with that. It was like, oh Lord, we lost again. They said those crazy maps you could never fold back up.
I'm telling you.
You always fold the map and they be following that line. Okay, we're going to take Highway 97. And then we're going to take so and so and so and so. And then when you have construction, the map didn't work no more. It's like, oh God, what do we do now? So the voice goes up octave. mama edgy. And the other thing that happens is because you're aggravated, you're not appealing to the people around you. They can see the frustration on you because you're lost. And that's what happens to us in the natural, in general. Because I'm gonna bring up one other point to you. Have you ever been in traffic at a red light and there's a person, and I wanted to say the I word, I wanted to call him an idiot. I'm not gonna call him an idiot. I'm gonna try to be politically correct. But the person in the car next to you is revving up the engine.
Oh, God.
You know, one of those racing guys. And then all of a sudden, when the light turns green, it goes, only to go to the next place where everybody has to stop anyway. And what they did was they revved up the engine, they made a lot of noise, they just burned rubber, the stinky smell of the rubber that goes in everybody else's vent, and it's annoying. And sometimes that's how we are when we reach a certain point and we don't know how to get out of the place that we're in.
Yeah.
So you have to think about all of these things. All of that really kind of sums up where we're going tonight with our topic. So I'm going to share the screen with you in a second because, you know, we've been talking about this for a long time.
Long time, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And then I dealt with, we actually came up with this topic, gosh, I think it was in the very beginning, but we waited to share it because what happens a lot of times is that we don't realize we're there until we're there. And where is there? There is right where our topic is. We don't realize it, but we're there. And when we're at that place, we're doing this.
Yeah.
When we look at that car, burning rubber, oh, he just, now where is he going? Where is he going?
Nowhere.
Just a burning rubber. And all you got is the stinky smell of the smoke. And the only thing you've done, you're spinning tires on pavement. Just going around and around and around and around and around and around. Now, isn't that annoying?
Yes.
To the people who have to actually deal with the noise and deal with the upset of that? It's annoying. But so often, we find ourselves right there. I got my business going, but I don't know what to do. Oh, it seems like the people ain't showing up. What do I do? I don't know what to do next. What do I do? Am I really being impactful? What do I do? So we're aggravated, we're frustrated, just like the person who's lost, just like the person who's sitting at the red light, can't wait to go, revving up the engine, and it takes off and annoys everybody else in the path. You're just spinning tires on pavement. And that's what our topic is tonight. So the first thing I want to do is I want to deal with each of those words, because when we look at it, you're in one spot, but you're going around and around and around and around. You're not moving forward. You're not moving backwards. You're just spinning in the same spot. So when I look at the first word of our acronym, because the acronym is spinning tires on pavement, when I look at the first word in the acronym, it's spinning. Now, I want to ask a question. Are you dizzy? Because what happens when I look at this word, y'all know this is all going through there with all of this in the first slide. So just be prepared for English class. Y'all know me by now.
All right.
So when I looked at the word spinning, I always look for the definition that best suits what we're dealing with. Mm-hmm. Now, when I looked at this, definition in an intransitive state, Uh-oh, sorry, I need to go there. In an intransitive state, it means to draw out and twist fiber into yarn or thread.
Oh.
So you're just twisting fiber into yarn or thread. You're just twisting and twisting. It's not going anywhere. You're twisting fibers into yarn or thread. No connection. You're just going around in what? Circles.
Circles.
Now, when I looked at it in the transitive state, it almost had the exact same definition, but there was one thing that was different. And it said to draw out and twist fibers and threads. Plural. Not twist fiber into yarn or thread, but to twist fibers, plural, and threads, plural, which also means to evolve. So one of the things that we have to think about, because it's tough when you are stuck in that place and you don't know where you're supposed to go from here. You're doing something, but is it the right thing? And you feel like you're just going like that same car. You just feel like you're doing that. So you have to ask yourself, am I just going around in circles? Am I dizzy? Or can I look at this as a way to evolve so that I have fibers and threads and not just balling up a big old wad of yarn? So I want to evolve. Now, let's look at the next one. Sorry, fire the PowerPoint lady. Tires. It didn't seem like any of this was going to go anywhere until I really started looking at it. So I had a question: who or what? And like, what is she talking about? Tires had a couple of different definitions. It could be a noun or it could be a verb. So I'm like, how can tires be a verb? Because when we think tires, we're just thinking tires, the rubber around the wheel of a car.
Yeah.
I mean, that ain't nothing. That's what it is. That's it, it's a noun, person, place, or thing. So am I just rubber around the wheel? Or am I actually doing something that tires me out?
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Now you can look at when you're working, you can, like when you're really working. Now, some of us don't work, but some of us really put the effort in and we really try hard at our craft. We really try hard at our business or our movement or our ministry. I don't work as hard as I should or as consistent as I should. And then when I don't, stuff catches up to me and I have a crazy day like today. So when I look at it from a perspective of it being a verb, I'm spinning, I'm evolving, I'm tiring myself. So I have to look at two different things, because the intransitive state means to become weary. But the transitive state means to exhaust.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, wow. So I'm evolving and I'm exhausting every measure. You following me? The word on. What in the world could you get from on, Anita? Glad you asked that question. On is a preposition. It's used as a function word to indicate position in contact with. So when I look at the word on, I'm evolving and I'm exhausting and I'm positioning myself. But I have to make sure that I'm doing all of this stuff the right way, because if I don't, then I will end up like this, because the word pavement is the surface.
Oh, okay.
And the function word on is also an indication to position you on top of the surface. So it's the surface. So on the surface, are you exhausting yourself and are you exhausting every measure and working? Or are you just making a lot of noise and aggravating everybody around you because you're frustrated.
Wow.
Because everybody sees here. Uh-oh, sorry. Everybody sees what's at the surface. Sorry, y'all. Fire the PowerPoint lady. Everybody sees what's at the surface. Everybody's, people see you before they hear you, hopefully, sometimes. Hopefully.
Oh, okay.
But when people see you, do they see this? Oh God! Oh, and out of here.
Yeah.
Are you just making noise and looking busy and acting busy and frustrating everybody around you? Come on, give me the thing, give it to me. I hate those kinds of people that I see, especially at conferences and stuff where they want to look more important than they are. Like the usher that overdoes it, and the parking attendant has got to be like he outside of the jetliner. Like, really? Did it take all of that for you to just tell me to park over here? All you gotta do is point the little thing. You ain't got to be out there, doing it like you're motioning for American Airlines or somebody. So that's looking busy and being on the surface, being loud on the surface on purpose. But when you find yourself in a place where you can't control what you're doing, this is what we're dealing with today. Because there's a way to get out of the circle, but then you also have to determine why you're there, how you got there, and how you're going to get out of it. And not to let it go in vain. Don't let any of the energy that you exhaust, don't tire yourself out for nothing. Don't be spinning and burning the rubber for nothing. Make it count. Just because you get to a place that you start spinning doesn't mean it's the end.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you lose control. Sometimes you end up spinning because you're lost and you can't figure out how to get out of that position. But don't just allow yourself to be on the surface looking one way, and because you're spinning, you don't want people to think you're not doing nothing, so you make a lot of noise to make it look bigger than it is.
Yes. So true. So true.
So that's my spiel for S.T.O.P. I'm going to let Annette take y'all on into, I ain't mean to do that. I have to go back to our thing here. Okay, sorry. Fire the PowerPoint lady.
No, PowerPoint lady doing okay. Big wheels keep on turning. Of course, when I came up with this, I was thinking about Tina Turner. Yeah. Oh, anyway, but in life, the wheels keep turning. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, big things happen, situations happen, but the wheels keep on turning. So we have to make sure that when the wheels turning, that we keep moving. We don't want the wheels turning and then we're not doing anything. So the big wheels keep on turning. First is the pressurized pressure. Pressurized simply means to maintain normal air pressure. If a container is pressurized, the air pressure inside is higher than the air pressure on the outside. So what you're going through on the inside is greater than what's going on the outside. On the inside, you have a vision. On the outside, you don't see how to come to pass. On the inside, you have a dream. On the outside, it may look like a nightmare. On the inside, you have ideas and goals, but it don't seem like you're going to make it. But that pressurized, what it does, it's what's going on is greater on the inside. So we have to learn how to take the greatness from the inside and take that greatness and bring it on the outside and produce our vision, produce our dreams. So pressure is a physical force that's exerted. So sometimes we have to really work that thing. Sometimes it's hard work. It's hard work, but we got to keep pushing because there's some greatness on the inside. So that's so important to take that and keep working it. So it's pressurized. So we reach it on the inside and pull it out. So you'll never be who you need to be until you take what's there on the inside, because a vision is a thought, a dream. I mean, it'll always be a dream. It'll always be a thought, and you take it from the inside and begin to work it. We can talk about it for years. I was a goner But when are you going to? You was a goner, but you never was going to. So that's why it's so important to realize what that thing is on the inside, that pressurized. And like I said, it hurts sometimes. It's exerting. You're pushing it. It's a force. And you have to actually, pressure is a force to produce. So sometimes you have to force yourself to get up and work on your dream. You have to force yourself to work on your vision. You have to force yourself. This is not easy. No, it's not easy. Sometimes you don't feel like it. But that pressure causes you to say, you know what, if I'm going to produce, if I'm going to go to the next level, if I'm going to build my vision and my dream, then there are some things that I have to do. So I have to take that thing on the inside and bring it on the outside.
You can't keep it bottled up.
No, you can't.
It'll explode.
Yeah. Yes. Because that pressure, you know, and we talked about, when Nita was talking, I guess a week or so ago, about cooking with a pressure cooker. Mm-hmm. You know, that pressure. So you got to release that valve in order that pressure to get out. And once that pressure releases, you're able to produce. So that's pressurized pressure. But also a blurred line between life and living. We get it mixed up sometimes. To be alive is to breathe. It's like taking an oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. It's taking clean air and breathe out toxic air. It's pretty much the easiest thing to do. Mm-hmm. But in my opinion, you have to really to live is to realize your full potential as a human being. In order to do this, you have to achieve clarity. I mean, what are you going to do? This is my take on living. I know, you know, of course, my life, I'm breathing, I'm doing whatever, you know, God is doing, causing me. But my take is life is a gift. But truly living is a present. Life is a watchful eyes. But truly living is never closing them. Mm. Life is in your skin, but truly living is jumping out of it. When the last time you jumped out of your skin, say, I'm going to do something different. Life is day by day. Truly living is sunrises by sunsets. Life is comfortable, but truly living is breaking every comfort zone. Mm-hmm. Life is free. Truly living means spending every minute of your day trying to help yourself get to the next level. Mm. So you can sit around and you know, have a life, but you have to learn how to take that life and live. We spend so much time not doing anything. Well, you know, I'm just gonna do it because, you know, things just don't work out for me. Mm-hmm. And you know, last time I tried this, no, baby, no, you start living. Even if I fall, you know what? I'm still living. You know why? Because I'm gonna get up and brush myself off. I'm living. I'm breathing. I'm believing that I can still do it, even though I may have failed. Go ahead, Anita. Oh, I thought you wanted to say something.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. So we have to learn how to live, how to take every moment. I sometimes when I go out and speak, I do this exercise, you know, and I have the people in the congregation to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, because we do it without thinking. And the Bible goes on to say, let everything that have breath praise the Lord. So since you do have breath, then you need to learn how to live, because tomorrow is not promised. If you look at society, I mean, you can't go to church, you can't go to the grocery store, you can't go to the mall. Things are always happening. So I told God, I said, I want to make sure whatever time's left on this earth for me, I want to learn how to live day by day. I want to see those sunrises and sunsets. You know, I want to break out this comfort zone. I want to do something different. You know, I mean, every day the sun come up and you know, it go down. But then what have I did? What is different? Am I able to live? Mm-hmm. So if you would just type this for me, I want to live. I want to live.
Yeah.
And get that thing in your spirit. I want to live. And so not only do I you know, there's a blurred line between life and living, but also what gets measured gets managed. And I was gun ho on finding this. I said, now, what does this mean? Because I really wanted to understand what it meant. This principle was often gets applied to business situations. Okay, it can mean that simply examining activity changes the activity by forcing you to pay attention. It can also mean that producing measurement about the activity gives you a handle on it, a way to improve it. So I was thinking, I was looking, I was reading about this making cakes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So when she first started making cakes, what she did was just, start giving cakes away, giving little slices, trying to see what, what would this work? Do they like the cake? So what she was doing, she was measuring what she was doing. So she was giving the cake, slices of cakes away. So she started getting a comment, say, well, you know what? You ought to make cakes. So then she started making cakes. And so she got to the point where she could sell 20 cakes a week. Mm-hmm. So what she was doing, she was measuring what she could do so she could manage it. What was the point of the matter is that you can't make 100 cakes if you're going to only sell 20. So what you do, you take what you have, you measure what you have. Me and Nita know pretty much what we can do.
Right.
So what we do, we take what we have, we measure and see if it's working. Okay, that don't work. So okay, let me try this. Okay, that don't work. So what you do, you take and you measure what you can manage. Mm-hmm. So we started out on another social media call. That didn't work. So that didn't measure out real good for us because it was causing issues. So then we went to the next site. Okay, that was okay. Then we finally got to this site. Now we're able to measure what we can manage. Now we can manage what we're doing because we're able to measure it. It works. Mm-hmm. So you take, if it's working, then you manage it, and then you take and build on it.
Right.
Yeah, you keep building on it. And so that's what it means. What gets measured gets managed. Because you got a whole lot. When you first start in a business, it's crazy. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. So you got to narrow stuff down. And if I can measure this thing, I can manage this. So now we know without a doubt that on Wednesday nights we can manage this. Mm-hmm. We know without a doubt we got this thing down. And so what we're doing at this point, we're building on what we have already established. Mm-hmm. So that is the point of the matter. So, whether your business, your life, whatever you're going through, make sure you can measure it and then manage it. Now, once you've done that, it's time to make the leap. Jump high. Leap means to jump high into the air. Jump means to spring into the air and move suddenly. So now it's time just to make that leap. It's time to jump. You already know. You already got the ideas. You already know what you want to do. So take the leap. Like Anita, I flipping, flapping. Still said, and if I fall, let me fall.
I know you broke up a little bit, but you were talking about that flipping and flapping in the wind. You take the leap.
Oh, I did. Yeah, we took the flippity flapping, the wind. So this is what we do. We'll sit on the edge and we'll flippity flap, and we'll look down. I think I can fly. Flippity flap. Well, I don't know. Then flippity flap. Maybe I can. Now I don't know, but I'm here to let you know. Make the leap. If you fall, that's all right. You can get up. But the flippity flap, all that's wonderful. We fake a move. Back when I was growing up, and when people want to fight, right, they'll jump at you and make the little move like this, like they get ready to tap in something, and they ain't gonna do nothing. Mm-hmm. But then you got some of those that they jump, you ready to get busted in the head. So that's how we need to do. Big wheels keep on turning. Let's flip it flat. Let's jump. Let's leap. Go for that vision. Go for that dream. You got it. Mm-hmm. Do what you need to do. Go for it. I'm here to encourage you. If I can do it, if Anita can do it, if so many other people who have taken that leap can do it, because all you see is the finished product. You don't know what it took to get there. And trust me, some of them that was like that, like the people who want to fight, but they really don't. They're scared. They're really scared, but they, like jumping, but they're not going to do anything. So we have to get out of that. So if you jump, get ready to fly.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, big wheels keep on turning. So also we have stuck in the mud. Made up drama.
Wow.
Made up drama. How many times we keep talking about haters to hate on me and she don't like me. But you know what? You your own hater.
Oh.
You're your own hater. You have made up drama. You cause yourself. It's bad enough you got to deal with the world, but it's bad enough when you're hating on yourself. You're stuck
Wow.
in the mud. And see, when one of the things I don't know about you, but if you ever have had a car stuck in the mud, it's hard to get it out because when you're trying to drive and put it in drive, and that tire just gonna spin in the mud, and it gets deeper and deeper, and that's what happens with us. We're stuck in the mud. We have made up drama. We're getting deeper and deeper, and we keep saying it's a haters. No, baby, it's you hating on yourself, and you're not able to go to the next level. Most time, it's not other people. It's because we're scared.
Oh.
Because we're afraid. It's because we think we can't make it. And so what we'll do, we'll start talking about haters. They just hating on me, and she don't like me. And
Mean killers and the haters.
yeah. And look,
They exist now.
listen, I'm gonna be very honest. Half the time, people ain't even studying you.
Truthfully.
I mean, there are some people who may be cruel and all that, but sometimes it's not about that. And even if they hate on you, let them hate. But don't you be the hater.
Wow.
You be the hater. So first we create unrealistic demands. Sometimes we expect too much of ourselves. We say it's all right to set goals, but sometimes we set goals based on other people's expectation. We set those goals because, girl, if I was you, I would. Girl, if I was you, so we set unrealistic goals, So we always try to people please. That's why we got drama. You can't please everybody. Everybody ain't gonna like what you do. Everybody ain't gonna pat you on the back and say, "Atta girl." And sometimes we take on too much. We overextend ourselves, and we stuck in the mud. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do a lot, but don't take on so much that you don't get anything done. Because sometimes you can do 5 or 6 things and nothing is done. So we get stuck in the mud, made up drama, and we try to be perfect. You're not perfect. We try, and we have a constant need for achievement, a constant need for somebody to say you're wonderful, a constant need for somebody to say you're great. You may never get it. People may know you're doing great things. They will never say you're doing good. They will never say you got it going on, because that's just the nature of people. And so if we crave that attention and we crave that need, then sometimes we'll be in for a rude awakening, because it's not going to happen. So we get stuck in the mud and we're looking for things to happen that will never happen. And so we can't go forth with our dreams and we can't go forth with our vision because we're stuck in an area and we can't seem to get out. But not only that, we need to stop bullying ourselves. Bullying means treating yourself in a hurtful way. It's being overly self-critical and hard on yourself. Now, there's a difference between trying to get to the next level and being hard on yourself, because sometimes we do fall in some area. But you start telling yourself, see, that's what I know. See, I know I ain't gonna never mount down. Every time I try to do something, nothing never works for me. I don't care what I do. So now we've already told, we tell ourselves that we're nothing. We tell ourselves that we're nobody. We tell ourselves that we can't make it. And then we come up with excuses. Well, I'm Black. Well, I'm a female. Well, I got 10 children, whatever the case may be. Well, I'm not educated. So we begin to bully ourselves and begin to pick on ourselves. You know how people do in school. They pick on you. They don't like your hair. Like, oh, look at my hair. I can't even look at my hair, child. I got to get my hair braided. Girl, I can't go nowhere. So we already begin to say all the things that's contrary to who we are. And there's power in words. You have to affirm yourself. You have to tell yourself, oh, you're wonderful. Think about how, if you've ever been bullied. I was bullied only because I was really skinny. So I was bullied. I was bullied so much because I was skinny. And I can remember, I'm kind of like you, Nita. I can remember vividly how I felt. That wasn't a good feeling. That somebody began to tell you, you're this and you're that. And look at you. You look like a bird. In fact, my nickname was Biddy. They told me, used to tell me I look like a little bit, like a bitty chicken. So, so I had to deal with it. To me, that was bullying because it was hurtful. So stop bullying yourself. Stop saying hurtful things about yourself. It's bad enough the world do it. Don't you do it. And then you need to take an emotional inventory. we deal with so many emotions, but there are at least 6 emotions when I was studying this that they talk about we go through. We go through joy and fear and anger, disgust, and sadness, 5. We go through those. And sometimes because we're very emotional, we need to take an inventory. What causes you to act a certain way? What causes you just to break down and cry, for no reason? What's going on? You have to reach, it goes back to peeling that onion. What are the things that causes you to emotionally to stop you from going forth, like that fear? Fear is overwhelming. Sometimes fear is, it almost like it just overcome you. I've been that scared.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to take a emotional inventory just to see where we are and see where we're going and say, you know what, why today I really had a rough day. Why? Y'all ever had a day that the day was just a rough day and you can't put your finger on it?
Yes, today.
And sometimes you have the same stuff to do, or you wake up and you're sad. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or you start. I just started, crying for no reason. And so that's where you need to do that inventory and try to figure out what's going on, because these things can really stop you from going to the next level. Because what it is, you're stuck in the mud and you're spinning your tires and you're not going anywhere. Your car got plenty of gas in it. Mm-hmm. But because you're stuck, you can't go nowhere.
Right.
And also, and finally, you need to do roadside assistance to get help. When your car is stuck, we have to call somebody to get help, to get our car out of the mud or whatever. So if you're struggling in some areas, I know in church, they say, well, pray about it. But sometimes I'm not saying don't pray, but I'm saying sometimes you need help other than praying.
It's the rhetoric of it, because people will quickly say, God will fight your battle.
Yeah.
Just pray about it. Pray without ceasing. We know what the Bible says, but sometimes you need that extra oomph. You need a person who can just clarify some stuff, or sometimes you need somebody to listen. Just like when you're sick, you need a doctor.
That's right.
Somebody, you got blood pouring out your skull, and they get the oil. No, call 911.
That's right. Because this is the thing with our church and our belief. They'll tell you what to do, but they don't tell you how to do it.
Right.
And that's the thing. I'm not saying prayer don't work, and I'm not saying faith don't work. But it does. But how? What is the remedy? What can I do? What steps can I take? What scripture should I read? So, sometimes you just need to get roadside assistance. You need to call somebody and say, come see about me. Come get me out of this mud. I've been stuck too long.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with saying, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray with you.
Yeah.
While I pray with you, let me call some assistance.
Yes.
Because God answers prayer, yes. But he also gave us common sense to pick up the phone or to take you somewhere where you can get some help.
Exactly. And that's why he created that. God created all of that because he knew that we would need that. He knew that we would, have to lay on somebody's couch. And we live in a time, I promise you, there's so many people who need to go get help. Mm-hmm. Because before, I'll say this and then I'll move on. I was looking at the Jeffrey Dahmer when they interviewed him. He said, and it just blew my mind last night, and I have seen it before. He said, I had a great mother and a great father. I was not abused. I was loved. But somewhere along the line, some screws got a little loose.
You ain't lying.
But we say, oh, we was abused as a child. He said, no, my parents was wonderful. So along the way, he needed some help. He needed to be somebody go and lay on somebody's couch or something to get help.
Somebody missed.
Yeah. Huh?
It was missed somewhere.
Something happened. And that's what you see young people killing themselves because they were bullied, and this person killing this person. You walk into the church, and I'm going to say this and I'm finished. The sad part about it is a lot of those people are young people.
Yes. 19 years old was that boy,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You talk people not even 25. You haven't even lived long enough to know nothing. You don't know the real deal about racism and all other issues growing. You don't know that, but something's happening. So get roadside assistance. When you're stuck in the mud, get your help.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
You know what? Of course, you know, I looked up something. I was looking at the word mud. It just intrigued me a little bit. And there is a verb for that word, but it's mudded or mudding.
Okay.
And it means, of course, we know mud, the substance, is a mixture of water and dirt.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when you're mudding or something is being mudded, it's being made muddy or turbid, which is the other word. And that word is to be deficient in clarity or purity or foul. And when you look at something that is foul, it's filled or covered with offensive matter. So when you are mudding up your life with drama, everything that you said, they're creating unrealistic demands, stop bullying yourself, taking emotional inventory, getting roadside assistance, we're making our own system foul.
Wow. Okay.
Because we have created mud. We've created mud. We've taken something great and we've mudded it up. And that word is a transitive verb. So
which one? Mud or mudded?
Mudded.
Okay.
Verb
all right.
is a transitive verb.
Okay.
And when it's mudded, that means that it's connected to whatever the drama is, all of the mess. You got to cut that tie and rinse all of that mud off of yourself and get out of that by getting that, taking inventory to get that roadside assistance. You made your whole system foul. Oh, that's something. I like when you sense it over stuck in the mud, made up drama. And that's true. We do have that. We make up, a lot of times we make up the situations in our lives. Oh, they always talk about things. Oh, they always. And in a lot of cases, you may have been victimized by that, but it comes a time that you have to decide to cut the tie and cut your ear off from it.
That's
and let it go. Let it go. Leave the drama where it is. Leave the mud where it is, and move on. Because otherwise, you're like that fella. There you go. There you go. Look at him. I don't know about you, but at some point or another, I want to get out of that. I don't like being there. And this is what we're talking about. We're trying to get you out of this state. And so getting us out of this state takes us all the way back to the topic. Because we've gone from spinning tires on pavement to big wheels keep on turning, stuck in the mud. And now we have to come out of that. And when we come out of it, we're right back to stop. Now, I have another acronym, but before I go there, I want to share this with you. Because what we have to do is we have to settle ourselves. A lot of times we don't, when we're at that place where our lives are spinning out of control, it takes you to take that moment and just do what the word says and stop. And when you stop, the dust settles. All of the smoke and the smell and everything starts to settle. The car starts to settle. Your mind starts to settle. And when you settle yourself and get into that still place, that silent place where you can settle your mind and deal with something, you can fix something. Because everything that we're talking about how everything that you're going to be, become, have, or do, all of it starts in your mind. And if it's clouded and cluttered, nothing is going to happen.
Yeah.
You'll be just like that little fella, and you'll be spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And I don't know about you, but I want to get out of the spinning state, because usually about this time, which is why we waited till now to deal with this topic, is because around about this time is when you start feeling it. Because you set out at the beginning of the year, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Oh, my New Year's resolution. Oh, Lord, this is gonna be a good year. This is my year. Oh, this the year. How many times have we said that? Oh, 2018, that's going to be my year. Oh, I can't wait for 2018 to be over. 2019, no, that's going to be my year. That's my year. I'm going to do it this year. And then now here we are in May. Oh, that's fantastic.
Here it is, May 1st.
Here we are in May. It's May 1st. And a lot of us are right there like that fella. Spinning tires on pavement. So you have to settle and fix your mind. Fix, like Annette said, take emotional inventory. You got to take that word inventory in your mind, because somewhere along the way, you let some stuff get kind of mixed up in it. You either listen to something that somebody else had to say, or you try to you let them, which we talked about this 3 months ago, you let them allow you to repaint the vision you envisioned. You saw the vision, and then you stood back, and in your mind, you came up with what was supposed to be on that canvas. And then halfway through the painting, you let somebody else come in and say, ooh, put green right here and put blue right there. That'd be pretty. But that ain't what God showed you. And then you started repainting the vision that you envisioned according to what somebody else said. So somewhere along the way, some stuff got misconstrued up in there, and you have to get it out. You have to fix the thought process. You have to get yourself back excited and back to the place of why you are doing what you're doing. Like, why am I doing this in the first place? Oh, and then you get that excitement again, like, oh, that's what it was. Oh, my bad. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this together. Yeah. That's what happens, Stacey. They said that's good, allowing others to repaint the vision, because that's what we do. We allow other people to come in and tell us how it should have been. Well, if I was you, well, this is what I would do. Well, it's not you. The vision wasn't for you. The vision was for me. And it's for an appointed time. And I was doing good until you came along and made me put blue and green in it. It wasn't supposed to have that in it. So now you got to go and fix that, and you've got to figure out, why did you allow this person to infiltrate your thought process? Why did you allow them to infiltrate your vision?
Yeah.
Probably talk too much about it, or you did something a little too soon, or you bragged about this and that. Well, technically, I ain't trying to tell you how to do it, but if you don't mind me, offering, I didn't ask you for it. So I do mind. And I would appreciate if you keep your thoughts to yourself. And sometimes you have to do that. I'm serious, because people will mess you up. Fix your mind. Whatever's in there is supposed to be doubt, fear, all that stuff, get it out. Then you have to gather all the necessary tools. You have to go back and look. Refresh, restart, reboot. Remember that class? Go back and look. What do I need to do? Do I need to refresh, restart, or reboot? Do I need to unplug from the power source and shut the whole thing down and then restart so it can remember how it was supposed to be in the first place? I got to gather all of my information. I got to go back and look at the blueprint. I got to go probably make a few little changes and nips and tucks. Maybe I've been doing this too much and I got to spinning out of control because I was putting a little too much on this side. And then I started going around in circles. So go and gather all of the necessary tools. Yeah. And then the only thing that's left to do after that is to go. Because the other acronym for STOP, in which we learned this in school, stop, think, observe, and perceive. You stop, take a moment and think, you observe, and then you perceive. Mm-hmm. I can't stand people that do that little California stop. I stopped. No, you didn't. You didn't stop and then think about it and observe and then perceive. And perhaps you came to the stop sign too quick and hit the thing. Before you know it, you're out of control. And that's what happens. Stop, think, observe, and perceive. And stop trying to make everything happen all at once. What works, works. What doesn't, doesn't. And when you get off, just stop. Settle, fix your mind, gather the tools, and then go. Stop, think, observe, perceive. That works, people. It works.
It does.
I'm telling you, I found myself like, and I told him that, I said, we gotta wait. We gotta wait because there's a good time to do this because some people are probably still in the high. in like February, March. They still think they're gonna do it. And by now, I know you probably had all these dreams. By May, I'm gonna do this and by June, and here you are in May, and what you were supposed to do in March still isn't done. Preaching to the choir.
Yes.
Oh, no, I have a goal that I had set in October, and then I changed it to December. I said, oh, but the first of the year, and it's May. Mm-hmm. Does it mean that I'm finished? No. It means that I need to stop, think, observe, and then proceed. Mm-hmm. We don't tell you anything that we have not experienced or that we do not deal with. We are not psychologists. We are lifeologists, and we're living this stuff, and it is tough, but it is not over just because you. I'm telling you. We can, and that brought that topic to us about a year ago, talking about her brother. Yeah. And we've been planning that long and I always knew that the time, it had to be a perfect time for it, because, you know, I couldn't have talked about this then because I hadn't experienced it.
Yeah, well, we
were at a high. We were still on Instagram. Ooh. We weren't spending time on Pavement.
No.
Oh no, we graduated from Instagram and Facebook Live to Zoom. Woo!
So you're right.
And then we started doing the text messages. Okay, all right. So one little step at a time, and then all of a sudden, we started spinning. Right. We started spinning when we stepped out, tried to do something we weren't ready for. Mm-hmm. Now it's time.
But at the end of the day, we stepped out. Exactly. That's what people got to know. Even though sometimes you may not
be defeated though in that. We haven't been defeated by it.
No, because you know what? With that car you was showing, but once the smoke clears, because the smoke won't clear, what you gonna do? Mm-hmm. What happens when the smoke clears? You just spin and spin and spin. So you know the smoke clearing for us. We getting ready, and preferably within the next 2 weeks or whatever, we'll be whatever this, you know, real soon. Put it like that.
Either you're gonna sit there when the smoke clears, you're gonna sit there, you'll be coughing in the smoke, or you're gonna figure out what to do next.
Yeah. But you know what? Even though we did go through the spinning cycle, but you know what? Hey, when you wash your clothes, you got to go through the spinning cycle to get everything, you know, all that water, everything out. Because you can't dry your clothes away. So, so sometimes maybe we had to go through the spinning cycle to get some things out of the way. You know, you never know why God does it, but you don't let it stop you. You regroup, and then you come up with another strategy. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, yeah, the smoke clearing now. So for us, the smoke clearing. So it's time we will be doing what we say we was going to do very soon.
Casey said that's the only way you know what works or not.
Yeah,
out and learn, and you know, and having other strategies, because sometimes the one thing doesn't work. But don't sit back and do nothing.
That's right.
Do something, because even your little goes a long way, Miss Spiritual Tic Tac Lady. That little goes a long way, and I'm telling you. And then it grows from there, because you get to a point sometimes when you're spinning tires on pavement that you just want to just stop and just sit there and just inhale the rubber smoke and cry. Mm-hmm. And what is that going to get you? It's not going to get you anywhere. Mm-mm. So do something. All righty. This was good.
Yeah.
I want to open up the floor. I want y'all to talk. Can y'all please talk tonight? Can somebody talk? I know Stacy gonna say something. Usually Stacy and Ebony. Oh, Zenobia, I didn't see you slide in. So anybody, you can unmute your mic. Hello. 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 Well, let me stop the recording. Maybe. I'm going to stop the recording now.